Yes, actually, today we are going to see about the session how we are going to automate Azure DevOps. So, let me share my screen. Okay. So, the today's session is about how to automate the Azure DevOps in case of updates with Azure function. So, my session is clearly about the working scenarios in real time with real time example. What all are the scenarios as a manual thing we need to do when we are working with Azure DevOps? For example, for a particular user story, if I have assigned with more number of tasks, every time if I update the individual task for the particular user story, I need to change my user story status also. So it quite been often after integrating the DevOps and Azure function, these kind of activities of manual integration activities been reduced. But many places in Azure DevOps, we are still doing the old mechanism by updating the individual task or anything related with that by manual integrations. So to avoid this, to make the working functionality quite easier and in a productive way, today we will see how to update the task or anything related to current status or field validation, everything in DevOps by means of Azure function. You can ask me here, the DevOps is completely at one end of the service and the function is at the another end of the service. How it is possible to integrate the serverless and DevOps, that is development with operational things? It's easy. The integration part is made easy with every build of the Microsoft, because whenever the Azure DevOps being launched, there are a lot of mechanism being added and summed up today compared to the time when it is launched. So let's see how this integration works and how we can authenticate the particular function in Azure DevOps to update the particular task or anything. So let's get into the session today. So about me, I'm working as a senior programmer and Azure and .NET certified professional and Microsoft certified trainer. So other than that, I do blogging and speaking. So this is about me. So, what problem are we going to solve today? In today's scenario, how we can automate the DevOps functionality? DevOps itself an automation. So, what all are the ways I can increase the productivity of the particular DevOps? So, specifically on the work item and status, because this is a main reason where we fail to look after how we can update or how we can elaborate it usage, because many of the big items we are already automated and the effectiveness is growing day by day. But the small things, whatever we are working today, whatever we are doing by manual things, if we do automation, how the productivity will increase in both terms, in DevOps as well as in the serverless terms. So how to automatically sync the parent work item states when the childs are getting updated. So how to leverage the service hooks after the publisher and subscriber model being launched, there is lot of automation being happened, not only in serverless end, in DevOps end also. So this end, in DevOps end, what all are the functionality available by means of service hooks, examples, web hooks? So we can see on today's session, and how to integrate DevOps service hooks with Azure function and Azure Key Wallet. So this is a major step what we are going to discuss in today's session. So let's get into the Azure DevOps service hooks. So in DevOps, there is a particular place where I can able to integrate my Azure function. So this integration place is how this is a way that how I'm going to manage the task updation or any automation in DevOps. So why I need to do these things with a function? Why can't I can do with any other services? There are a lot of services available in Azure. We can use the any type of serverless functions or any type of serverless service which opt to our requirement. In my case, I usually go with the publisher and subscriber model, because anything, it is not only this web hooks or service hooks or anything. We can either go with event grid also based on the specific requirement. So the DevOps service hook publisher define a set of events. In from this block, we can understand the publisher will have a set of events where the subscriber, that is the subscriber or subscription, it will listen to that event and will define the action based on the event. So as a subscriber, I will receive a set of event. So I need to define the particular task or action based on the event I have been received. So it is not only doing this kind of activity by receiving some event and creating some action item based on the event. For an individual customer also, if it have its own action, it can able to manage that also. So that's the use of this publisher subscriber model. Whenever I have a particular event to be given, I can give it, and as a subscriber it will receive and it will define the particular action for the event which is received. As an individual customer with its own action item also, it can able to perform. So this is how this DevOps service hook also going to work with the integration with the Azure function service. So let's get into this Azure function, that is like a serverless event processing. Usually, wherever the term serverless comes, we will say it's only for a Azure function. I will say no, it's not. Wherever the serverless function, we are having a mini service associated with that. We are choosing the service which are opt to us. That is how we differentiate the requirements. For example, if I have something, I need to process the particular photo which I am taking as a downloadable version, so I can use Event Grid for that cases. In DevOps end, I need to integrate the function and I need to update the work items based on the child task. Here I can use the Azure function because here as a requirement, the integration end, I can feel it is comfortable to use service hook other than other things. So we need to consider the integration part, development part. As a developer, as an integration engineer, we need to look after the cost effectiveness and the service which will behave properly when we do the particular stuff. So based on that, we need to choose the service. So the Azure function as a serverless event processing, it have the events where it will be get into the event hub. The function hub perform the other activity. Either you want to write some, you can use a Cosmos DB, or if you need to store the dead letter message, it can be done in the storage queues. So all this activity combinedly we can do perform in the CI/CD pipeline, whereas we can able to monitor also by means of end-to-end monitoring by Azure Monitor Service. So this is how Azure function works. Here we need to consider another fact, the Cosmos DB, the writing factor. So Cosmos DB, whenever we are going with Azure function with Cosmos DB, because the Cosmos DB is quite costlier than other storage in Azure service. So we need to opt Cosmos DB only when we need to consider the throughput, and the second thing we are consider about the read and write operation. So whenever you need a throughput as your primary factor, consider the Cosmos DB. Other than that, you can go with any other services based on your requirements. So Azure Key Wallet. So I need to do some automation in DevOps. Okay, I can have Azure function to perform this activity, and I have Azure DevOps as another platform to perform that activity. Where come this Azure Key Wallet comes into action in this particular scenario? For example, whenever I'm doing a DevOps login, I need to authenticate as a proper user to perform that action, because I have all my credential, the code related stuff in the DevOps. I cannot simply give a permission to someone to access or update this particular task in a DevOps. So every time I need to authenticate, I need to tell the function you have a complete rights to update the particular task. To perform that, to do that administration related stuff, to authentication related stuff, I need some of the service to work. So here I am using Azure Key Wallet. So this Key Wallet have some special notes. What the thing is, as an administrator, I can able to use the logging for keys. As a developer, I can only get the URIs for the key. So as a developer creating a keys, I cannot able to get the complete credential details of the key. If I am an administrator, I can able to use the logging for the key, so other stuff related with that. So administrator with Azure subscription can able to create and manage the wallets as well as the key. So developer, I can receive only URI for the key. That is enough and sufficient for me to perform the action. I don't need other stuff like I need to create and I need to manage. That thing as a developer, it's not needed. So this is why we are using Azure Key Wallet in integrating the DevOps as well as along with the function. So I need to authenticate my function to update the particular task in DevOps. For that scenario, I'm using the URIs, that is key. So by this action, I'm performing that activity. So the prerequisite, what all are the things I need to do or perform this action? So first I need to create a function because two services which I need to create in Azure portal. That is, one is Azure function. The second one is the key wallet, Azure key wallet service. And DevOps, we already know how to create an organization, how to create the first project, CI/CD pipeline. That is by default. So two services which I need to create, and I need to enable the manager identity in Azure function. After that, I need to assign a Azure key wallet access policy so that I can able to my function can able to perform this update task without any authentication issue in Azure DevOps. So these are the activity I need to perform before getting into this demo. So I need to create a function app. This is a primary concern. Like I want to create Azure function app where I need to give certain default values which is required. For example, I need to give the DevOps organization name where I need to provide the particular organization name of the particular account that is needed. The DevOps default state. For example, I'm updating the work items. I should definitely have a default state. From that default state, I can able to update to the another state. So based on this default and update state, I can able to perform the function activity. When it is changed from new to active or active to new based on the state updation, you need to trigger this particular event. Like that, I can able to provide the publisher to perform the action based on the states. So DevOps part, this is very very important. This is like a personal access token. From this, I can able to, this is like this is a place where we are doing the activity with Azure key wallet. So the secret URL, everything we can able to get from the DevOps and we can give to the key wallet. Based on that, the authentication will be happen. So enabling manager identity. So the manager identity is restricted to one per resource. So this is one of the concern, and is tied to the life cycle of the resource. Until the resource is being terminated, it will be continued for overall life cycle. You can grant permission to this manager identity by using the role based control. So RBAC we can use. So this managed identity is every time authenticated with your Azure AD. So you don't need to store your credential anywhere in your code. If you had a AD authentication, you can able to access this identity. So the second thing is we need to generate a DevOps personal access token. This token is very, very important. This is the factor where we use for authentication in Azure Key Wallet. It's very simple. We can go to our personal setting in DevOps and we can able to generate this personal access token. It is used to validate your integration with Azure DevOps and should be treated as very sensitive information. How we treat our DB credential. So the same way we need to treat this as a credential as a sensitive one, and set an appropriate expiration date and give read write and manage permission to work item. So everything whenever it comes to a token, we need to set an expiration date. So from that we can able to perform other action. So the key date need to be given for this action. So you need to ensure we are copying the particular token, because once it is generated, after it is been, if we close the window, it will not be visible again. So once it is generated and it will show the pop-up to copy, we need to copy and place it as a secret credential for our further purpose. So this is how it will generated. Once after it is getting generated, it will throw a warning to copy, because you cannot able to access this token, or you cannot able to view this token again. So you need to ensure that you are copying the particular part, so it will not create a future issues. So creating a key wallet secret. Once after I'm creating a personal access token, I need to use this personal access token to create a key wallet secret, where I can able to go to the secrets and I can able to paste that particular secret which been created from the DevOps. And here I can able to set the identifier as the same token which has been generated there. So once after it is created, we can able to assign the policy. For example, I want these things to be accessed for the particular level of management people or particular level of group of people. I can able to set the secret permission, key permission, or certificate permission, any kind of permission based on that requirement we can able to give. So this is also another needed thing, but it is not essential in today's demo. This is like a permission one we can able to give based on the group of activities. So creating a service hook in Azure DevOps. So interlinking DevOps with Azure Key Wallet, we have seen creating a path and giving it on the Azure Key Wallet, so we can able to perform other action. Where is the place of integrating this Azure function with Azure DevOps? So creating a service hook in Azure DevOps, we need to create a service hook where we can able to add that function URL. So after getting into the project setting, there is a separate place where we can able to create a service hook, and we can able to give how the function need to be work, the trigger, the way how it need to be work. I'm here simply choosing the work item updated. Whenever the particular work item is updated, the other tasks need to be subsidiarily work. So like that I can able to give. So the field I need to give the state because I'm updating the things based on the state. So this is the trigger place where we need to give in the DevOps. So we need to get a Azure function URL. After creating Azure function, based on the operation, we can able to generate the URL. The URL which is being generated, I need to give in the service hook, which I have created in the Azure DevOps end. So once after it is created, I can able to update the child items. Based on my child item, the parent items are getting auto updated without any manual integrations. So let's see how it works. So this is a work item I have created. So this is a user story which need to be updated based on the task, child task. When this particular task is closed, I don't want this user story to be still at new. Every time I'm go checking the task and making it to new or active based on the task, it is quite like consuming the time. As a automation, we can do the thing. What we can do is, whenever the particular child task is getting updated, my parent task will getting updated by default without any manual upgradations. For example, I'm setting the particular task to active. So I'm getting back. So the particular task is getting updated. So the work item need to be get updated. So it have some refresh issue, so it will getting auto updated by means of this Azure function. So where it is being integrated with the Azure function, let's check that. So this is a place where the service hooks are getting integrated, that is the Azure functions are getting integrated. So here the trigger which I have given, the work item, whenever it is getting updated, it need to get updated. The field I have added the state, so based on the state it need to get updated. So once after that, I can able to give the particular function URL from the service hook. The function which is I have created is here. This is a function which I have created. So from the get function URL, I can able to copy paste this particular URL and I can able to give it to the particular service hook to perform this action. So where comes this Azure Key Wallet, how it getting worked? So to make the particular DevOps authentication whenever the task is getting performed, I need to have the personal access token which I can able to get from here. So the personal access token is already generated. So I can make use of this token and I can able to create a particular token here. So I have just copy pasted the DevOps part here as a secret identifier, and I can able to set the other stuff, manage access identity, everything based on my requirement. This is how the integration from the DevOps to the function, and from the DevOps to the Azure Key Wallet happen. So by this, we can able to update the task or anything, not only the state management, we can able to perform any activities based on the requirements. So this is about today's session. Let's check again why it's not getting replicated. So now we can able to see I have changed the task. Once after I changed the task, the particular work item is also getting updated. I haven't touched this particular user story to update as active, since I have changed other two stuffs as per active. So this is how it is getting updated without any manual inputs. This is how the automation happens in small things in DevOps. For example, in work items, it is not only for updating the user story based on this task. We can able to perform any other automation inside the DevOps by means of Azure function. Only the integration and we need to consent. We can use the inbuilt service hook. We can have the Azure function integrated with DevOps, as well as we can use the PAT, which is already available in DevOps, to make it work along with the Azure Key Wallet for managing the authentication. So this is what today's session which I need to discuss and which I need to deliver. I hope I have completed the session. Thank you.